I need to get comfortable. Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to. My setup is a little different because I had to pack up my computer. I had to pack up my camera. So I'm using my laptop right now. So please bear with me. But I saw this video and I'm like, oh, this is such a great conversation. And I don't have on any makeup. I'm not wearing a wig. So I'm like, let's have this discussion. Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of. Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
Okay, let's get into this. I've been getting a lot of questions about the stuff that I've been wearing in my videos lately. And so a lot of the stuff that I wear, I get from Amazon. So I'm going to be launching my Amazon storefront probably when I get back because I'm going to go see my family and I'll be able to like sit down and really work on my Amazon storefront. But like a lot of the stuff y'all be seeing me wear is from Amazon. Okay. So for the girls that keep asking, like wigs, bags, tops, like even this top that I have on right now, it's like a YSL top that I got from Amazon. And for the girls that are like tall, sis, do you see this? Okay, no short sleeves here. Okay, y'all see how long my arms are? Okay. And I love it. Like, honestly, I like this top so much because I feel like it snatches you. And then I'm glad I got multiple. That's another thing about me. If I like something, I'm probably going to get, like, I got 3 in this same color. And then I got some other colors too. Like, they have gray, they have like a nude, and then they have, I think they have an army green. But I really like this. So for the tall girls, a lot of the things that I will recommend is tall girl friendly. And you know how we are when it comes to our sleeves. It's like, come on. Okay. So I will be launching my storefront. So please stay tuned for that. It's just, I haven't launched it first. So I wanted to talk about this video that I came across. This girl talks about how she basically, she compromised her natural beauty to be seen as conventionally attractive. So let me just share the video because I was like, ooh, ooh, wait, the next one. Okay. Okay, let me blow it up.
She doesn't look dirty. She looks like she has a good skincare routine. But the reality of it is, looking at her through the eyes of what I became naturally ugly. This is something I've been thinking about lately. And I saw a video of a young lady talking about how, like, I'm conventionally attractive, I became naturally ugly. This is something I've been thinking about lately. And I saw a video of a young lady talking about how, like, she was in depression. And the reason why she was in depression is because she couldn't keep herself up. But that wasn't the only reason. I don't want to make it seem like she was shallow because she did say it was other reasons. But when you're looking at her video, like, she looks kept. Like, she doesn't look bummy. She doesn't look dirty. She looks like she has a good skincare routine. But the reality of it is, looking at her through the eyes of what society deems conventionally attractive, she's not kept up. Then I think about my own journey and how, as I became conventionally attractive, I became naturally ugly, right? Yeah, I did all the things that y'all told me that was supposed to make me look more attractive. But yet, once I came home, I took all of that off. Like, I just felt like the ugliest. I just felt hideous. Because, yeah, I had the lace front wigs, but I wasn't taking care of my hair under the wigs because I couldn't, I'll be honest, the only thing I could really afford was the wig. I couldn't afford to get myself a good haircut and get myself upkeep and get the wig. So I picked the wig and my natural hair deteriorated from it. Same thing with my nails. I used to get full sets and get all of the designs and stuff like that. But my nail beds was terrible. These are now my own natural nails. This is just a manicure. And it could go on to makeup. My skincare was atrocious. And it's like as I became conventionally attractive, I became naturally ugly. This is something I've been thinking about lately. And I saw a video of a young lady talking about how, like, she was in depression. And the reason why she was in depression is because she couldn't keep herself up.
So let's talk about it. Honestly, you looking at the girl that loves to play around in makeup, hair, nails. I love it all. I love it all. So please do not feel like I'm coming for anyone or anything like that. Like, we're just simply having this discussion as women, right? Now, I will say this: when I was heavily in the lace fronts, because I went through that phase as well. If you go back far enough on my YouTube channel, you will see that I was heavily in the frontals. I was heavily in the super long nails. I've never been a design girly. I just haven't been that. But I was just heavily in those things where, of course, you kind of manipulate your natural beauty to be seen conventionally a certain way. And so conventionally acceptable, conventionally seen as beauty. And beauty, we have like many different phases in beauty. Like right now, I'm seeing a shift with hair. The biggest shift that I'm seeing is a lot of women are getting away from the lace fronts, or if they're not getting rid of the lace fronts completely, they're putting the lace behind their hairline so it can appear to take on a more natural look. And like women are kind of getting away from lace. Girls are going back to like clip-ins, traditional sew-ins. I've even seen back in the day, like they used to have micro braids, but now it's like the bohemian braids. But I feel like bohemian is very similar to the micro braids, but it's just been, I guess, modernized in my opinion. So like you start to see that natural beauty is starting to come back, but a lot of women compromise their natural beauty for that phase, that fad that we went through. I would say I feel like beauty was very extreme between it started. When do you guys think it started? You think it started in like 2000 and like 11, 2012? I guess like the height of the beauty, I w- I would say trend on YouTube. I want to say it kind of started like around 2011, 2012. 2000, you think 2010, 2000 to 2017? Yeah, like during that time, like I felt like beauty was very extreme. Like there's some photos in my like iCloud where I'm like, girl, you had that makeup on real heavy, but like that was the trend then. And so one thing though, I can honestly say, when I was heavily into the lace fronts, I always used the lace glue that was cheap. And what I mean by cheap, meaning it easily came off. It didn't take much because that adhesive glue that's like very expensive and it like, oh, you can swim in it and stuff like that. I stayed away from that glue because I'm like, oh my God, I don't want my edges to like go away or anything. So I didn't want to compromise my edges for a lace front. So if there was like a particular hairstyle that I wanted and I felt like I had to compromise the health of my hair, I just didn't get it. And I noticed that some women did get it. And so now that like natural beauty is coming back, I see what she's talking about. I definitely see what she's talking about. I personally got lazy with my natural hair. Like I got so lazy with my natural hair just because it was so much to handle. It was just so thick and it was just a lot of work. And that's the reason why I cut my hair and then I did I'm like rocking the short hair right now was because I just needed a break. But I neglected my natural hair for a very long time simply because it was just a lot of work. So I completely understand where she's coming from. Throwing on a wig, it was just easier. It was quick. You could go, especially if you're a girly that's like in the gym. Girl, you know how easy it is to go sweat out your hair with natural hair and then like throw on a wig and just at least you look presentable. So during that phase when I was like a gym rat, I'm in the gym like 5 times a week. I wore wigs a lot during that time. Um, You think a lot of black girls are were duped? I think so too. I think so too. When I look back over that phase, I mean, like I remember when I was doing my makeup back then, it was taking me like almost 2 hours. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. My makeup now takes like 30 minutes, sis. And if I'm trying to do something extra with the eyes, and when I say extra, like I just mean like I'm not gonna put brown on my eyelids. Like I'm gonna actually do some shimmer, it 45 minutes, like an extra 15 minutes. And then I don't even feel the need to wear lashes all the time. Because I don't know. Kim Kardashian had everyone and their mama contouring. Yep. Woo. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. So I want to make this live not to shame women or anything like that. It's just really to have an open conversation about what does it mean to truly embrace yourself, right? Because I went through that phase of putting on 3 hours of makeup. I went through the phase of putting on the lace fronts. That had to take, shoot, and when I was bad at it, about an hour and a half to, and then if I was like cutting in and all of that, 2 hours and a half. Like what else was I doing during this time? The long nails. And then when you trying to do your makeup with long nails, extremely long nails, y'all, I'm talking about the claws. It just made everything like a longer process. And I remember this phase. My family, they could not stand me because I was out here doing purple hair, blue hair, pink hair, yellow hair, green hair, red hair. I've literally tried everything. But I had fun because during that time of my life, I was truly just trying to find myself and just have fun with my look and my style. And now I can be more on the natural side and not feel like I'm missing out on something because I've tried everything. I'm like, oh, I did that already. I did that already. So I had fun, but I wanted to say, like, honestly, when it comes to like manipulating your beauty, how you choose to do it, it does matter because you start to look at yourself differently. So let me explain. When I was wearing the lace fronts and I was wearing the makeup, I used to feel like I had to wear those things. Like I used to feel like I couldn't leave the house without a wig on. I used to feel like I couldn't leave the house without doing a full face. Now I leave the house with no makeup on to sometimes in the summer, I just put on a little BB cream, some mascara, some blush, and I keep it going. I leave the house, But during that time, I felt like I had to do all of that. Like I felt like every time I got done up, I had to do my full routine. And people would get mad at me because I used to be late all the time. And it was just, that was a crazy phase. That was a crazy phase. Thank you, Raven. That is so sweet. Thank you for the super chat. That was a real crazy, crazy, crazy phase, y'all, because literally it would take me like 4 hours just to leave the house. Like 4 hours. And I think about that now and I'm like, that is so insane to me. I can't believe I felt the need to do that. I felt the need, but it was because I had trained my eye to feel the need to do all of that. Like I had trained my eye like, oh my God, I don't look right without lashes. I got to put the lashes on. And at the time, I wasn't even really that good at lashes. So like putting on lashes, that would extend my makeup like an extra 20 minutes. What else? Oh, I felt like every time I did my makeup, I had to contour. It was just a mess. I'm trying to think what else. And then my wigs. Oh my God. When I got into the lace fronts and they started looking good on me, girl, that was a process. I was like, oh my God. So then when I went without, then I would feel insecure because I'm like, wait a minute, I don't look the same. I don't feel like I look the same. But when you do it consistently over time, then you feel like, oh, I need these things. So then I started pulling back on the wigs. I started pulling back um, on the makeup. I stopped wearing lashes all the time, and it was a process. Like it was like I had to pull back on a lot of stuff, and I did it slowly. See, if you do it and you go cold turkey, you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, I look crazy." You kind of have to like pull back slowly and give yourself breaks. That's the main reason why I haven't gotten any fillers. I haven't gotten my lips injected. What else? I haven't gotten Botox, and I'm not even against Botox. I'm not against those things because I think it can overall improve your beauty. But sometimes I get scared because I'm like, how much do I have to manipulate myself away from my natural beauty to accept myself? Because then once you get the fillers and you get everything taken out, then you have to go back through that process like I did with the wigs, the lashes, and everything else. Like I have to go back through that phase of detransitioning myself off of and winging myself off of all of those things that I felt were necessary at one point. Thank you, Molay. That is so sweet. Thank you for the super chat, Molay. So I had to pull back on those things because it started to affect how I saw myself, and it was not healthy. It was not healthy. I felt like I always needed makeup. I felt like I always needed lashes. I felt like I always had to wear a wig, and it really started to affect my body image. It really started to affect how I saw myself, and so I had to pull back and detransition from feeling like I needed those things. It's the main reason why I haven't gotten the lash extensions because I feel like if I start to get the lash extensions, when I stop getting the lash extensions, I'm gonna feel like I look crazy, or I'm gonna feel like I need them. And so I didn't even get the lash extensions for this reason. Like if I want to look bare and I want to look natural, I want it to be my true natural self and not, oh, I don't have any makeup on, but I still have lashes. Now, one thing that I did do is I did get microblading on my eyebrows, but I went for a more natural look. I wanted something that mimicked my natural beauty as much as possible. And that I think that's part of it is if you do get these enhancements, like there's nothing wrong with you getting the enhancements, but like try to stay as close to your natural self as possible. So then if I don't know, like the beauty industry changes or like these fads, they go away or whatever. It's not like, oh my God, I look so ridiculous without those enhancements. Because when you go extreme, you tend to look completely different. Yeah, it's like, yes, it's a major chain reaction. And I'm not here to tell girls that they can't explore their beauty and have fun because I did that. That's how you find yourself in your womanhood. I don't think if I went extreme, I don't think I would be settled and confident in my natural beauty. Sometimes I think as women, you have to go out and look ridiculous. I'm just being honest. For you to just finally embrace yourself naturally. I don't think I would be comfortable and confident in my natural beauty if I didn't explore like I did when I was younger. And I had fun. I have no regrets. I look at some photos and I'm like, oh my God, girl, girl. But like my contouring was very harsh. Oh, it was so harsh. But honestly, I can look back and say, you know what? I was just going through my phase. I was going through my growth spurt, my growing pains, and it's something that I'm appreciative for because at least I went the extreme route and now it's just like, okay, I found myself after going extreme to like, okay, I'm comfortable with who I am now. So this is part of your womanhood, like it is. But I'm glad she was the one to say it, because we for a little bit there, we got away from natural beauty, and then like we were really feeding into the extremes of beauty, and now it's like natural is coming back. And it's really, when we say natural, let's be for real, natural looking. It's not that you're actually natural. We all know that beauty is all about, it's like mimicking natural beauty, but it's not actually natural. That's why I'm not here to tell you what to do with yourself, because at the end of the day, the only thing I can advise is I would never go extreme, because the beauty industry, these beauty fads and stuff, they change periodically. So, but if you want to get lip injections, listen, girl, that's your business. I just wouldn't tell nobody. I wouldn't tell nobody. I would not tell nobody. You want to know why? Because especially when you're a Black woman, when you get Botox, when you get filler, whatever you decide to get, it's at the end of the day, it's your body, it's your choice. People gonna have something to say about it, and you don't need outside opinions. Oh, thank you. That's very sweet, Daryl. Thank you for the super chat. That's your business. I grew up with big lips. I don't know what it's like to grow up with smaller lips, and especially as a Black woman. So I'm not about to tell you what to do. And another thing is like people want me to say don't get a BBL. I have a big butt, so I don't know what it's like to have a smaller butt. I know what it's like to have a big butt and struggle with finding clothes, but I've never had a small butt where, especially as a Black woman, where they feel like that's expected. So I'm not here to tell you what to do. The only advice that I can tell you is, when you compromise your natural beauty, and the way that you compromise it for a fad, right? And it goes out of style, are you altering your beauty to the point where now you feel like you're naturally ugly? That's basically what she is saying. So if you decide to get a BBL, listen, I would go the natural route. I wouldn't go super big. If you decide to get implants, I would go the natural route. I wouldn't go super big. If you decide to get lip fillers, and fillers you can get taken out, but I've seen some, like, palm people, they get the lip fillers and then they take it out, and then like their lips have wrinkles and stuff like that. So listen, I would just try to stick to the natural looking beauty aesthetic, because that's timeless. It's never going to go out of style. I don't care what they say. It's never going to go out of style. Natural is always timeless. It's never going to go anywhere, y'all. But like, can we be real though? Like, even the girls that went OD with plastic surgery, right? Yeah, they went OD with plastic surgery. But I remember when I went OD with makeup. I remember when I was OD with the lashes. I remember I had the lashes that were like touching my eyebrow. I went OD with the wigs. Like at one point, I think I had like 5 bundles in my head. So luckily for me, and I say luckily for me, I could take all that stuff out, like and listen, this is a lesson in itself as well. Like I could take all that stuff out and still be able to embrace my natural beauty. But the girls that went OD with the plastic surgery, that's a little different. Like they have to take all that stuff out. They have to go through the reconstruction process. And that's just a lot. I've been blessed to be able to say I could just take all that stuff out, Okay. So I'm not here to step on nobody's toes, because at the end of the day, this is part of your womanhood. Y'all understand how beauty is like, it's pressure. That's all it is. It's like extra added pressure. Not only did we put it on ourselves, society puts it on us as well. I'm getting older, and now ageism is like the big thing. And I'm just like, why can I not embrace my age? Why can I not embrace the fact that I'm getting older? I don't understand. Now it's like when you're a young girl, it never stops, ladies. That, like, let's be clear about this. It never stops. When you're younger, it's like, oh my God, when am I going to get my boobs? And then When you're younger, it's like, when am I going to be able to wear the makeup? When am I going to be able to get the nails done? You know, when will I blossom? Then when you get older and you blossom, then it's like, okay, now it's like, okay, I can't age. What? Like, it never stops. Just so you're aware, I don't care what age you are. I don't care. It never stops. So that's why I feel like the best thing that you could do is embrace your natural self, because the chase, it never stops. It never, ever, ever stops. No matter what age you are. And unfortunately, girls be like, I'm trying to think, how young was I when I became so obsessed with my look? I want to say 13, 12, maybe 12, 13 years old. um Looking at magazines and watching TV, seeing commercials and things like that. And then back in the day, at least the girls today know, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, right? But back in my day, girl, we didn't know. Some of us thought that they actually woke up like that, because there was a lot of mystery behind beauty. So many people were gatekeeping when it came to beauty. But now no one is really gatekeeping like that. So it's like, okay, oh, she got Botox, or oh, she got lip fillers and stuff like that. But when I was coming up, we used to think that they were naturally like that. So I appreciate the girls for being honest about, the stuff that they do. But because society is so negative when it pertains to women in general, it doesn't matter if you're coming online talking about what work you got done on your body, or you're coming online and you're talking about what your standards are when it comes to dating, or when you come online and you talk about like what you look for in a man, somebody's gonna have something negative to say about it. So in my opinion, I don't care if you get work done or not. It's your business. Like, we don't need to know, because I'm telling you, if you come online and you're like, girl, I got this done, or I got that done, somebody gonna have something negative to say. And it's just like, you don't need that negativity. Okay. I don't get ageism either. Oh yeah, before we knew about Photoshop, that was a mess. That was an era, though. That was an era for us. That was an era for us. So at least the young girls, it's like that's the thing. When it comes to this society, it's always a double-edged sword. When we were younger, we didn't know it was Photoshop. When we were younger, we didn't know girls were out here getting plastic surgery. But now the girls are like, okay, she got Photoshop. She got work done. I need to do that. And so that's the thing about society. It's like, you don't know how society is going to react to the information that you give it, right? And so now girls feel like they have to go out and they have to change themselves. And then I feel like the pressure is way more extreme now for young girls. I do, because who are they looking to? Adults. Like, I'm trying to think, for a preteen, where are you guys shopping at? Are you guys shopping at Target? And then you go into Target and you look at the junior section, right? Some of that stuff I want to wear, some of it, not all of it, but some of the stuff I'm like, I want to wear that. These girls don't even have nowhere to shop for real. They're wearing adult clothing. And it's just crazy to me. So I actually feel like the pressure for younger girls today is so extreme. Is so, 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 so extreme. Thank you, Kay. That's really sweet. I feel like the best formula that you could ever do for yourself is try, and honestly, like, really try to embrace your natural beauty, because these fads, they're constantly changing. They're constantly changing. It could be like 5 years, 6 years, 7 years from now, lace fronts are coming back. Maybe the lace improved. And so now lace fronts are back. Just make sure when you decide to mimic your beauty, think about the longevity of what you're doing. That's it. Like, I don't care what it is. This is just free advice. Simply think about the longevity of what you're doing. Even when it comes to your nails, I noticed like some girls are getting acrylics on their feet. And I'm like, dang, y'all getting acrylic on the toes? That's crazy. I used to see this low-key embarrassing, but I'm gonna share it. So when I was younger, I used to get the press-on nails for your toes. Yep. That's why I can't even judge the girls that get their acrylics. I'm like, girl, I used to do that too, but I used to get the little press ons, and you would just press it on top of your toenail and keep it going. All right. But yeah, just make sure, if you're mimicking anything, think about, okay, how this gonna look in 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years. Because I don't think these girls that be influencing you, I don't think they ever had that conversation. Because a lot of them, they gonna have to go and like get these things, upgraded and updated and things like that. Yeah, I used to do the toe press because it was like a quick, French tip situation. So I used to get the little press ons. I sure did. Yeah, they're convenient. They are so convenient. I wasn't good at doing, because I used to do my own feet. I used to do my own nails. And so I couldn't afford to go to the salon. So I would just go get the pack, and I used to just get the press on French tips. Listen, you got to do what you got to do. I feel like beauty is supposed to be fun too. That's another thing. Like, let's talk about that for a sec. Beauty is supposed to be fun. It is. It's supposed to be fun. Don't ever think that beauty is not supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun. If you feel like it's a job, let's reevaluate what we're doing. When I was doing the lace fronts and I was doing the makeup and the lashes and everything, it felt like a job. It felt like a job. It became not fun. It became so unfun. Maybe because I was doing it as a job, but y'all get what I'm saying. Like, it was too much. Okay. It was just too much. Yeah, it shouldn't feel like pressure. It should feel effortless. Like you put in effort, but like not extremely to the point where, oh, you can't be seen without such and such. Luckily for me though, my dad, he did not let me wear makeup. He didn't let me wear makeup until I was like 18. And I look back and I'm like, I see why. Because if I would have been wearing makeup at like 15, 16, 17 years old, I think my perception on beauty would be a lot more extreme, honestly. Yeah, I feel like it's supposed to be for enjoyment. Now, one thing that I will say, because people are not going to tell you this, but I went through uh the different attention that I got. So when I had blue hair, yellow box braids, pink hair, green hair, blue, I just did every color, red. I got different I got different outcomes with each hairstyle. So have fun when you're young, but if you feel like you're not getting the desired, and this is all about you. This ain't about other people. This is not about a man. This is about you when I say this, okay? Because we decentered men over here. Make sure that your beauty and how you put yourself together, it aligns with your desired outcome. Because I had different desires when I was wearing the blue hair and the pink hair. My beauty did not align with my desires. And what do I mean like that? What do I mean by that? Well, first of all, I wanted to be seen and treated a certain way. And people are not going to say this, but like society judges the hell out of you. I know social media likes to put on this front, like, oh, we love everyone and we accept everyone. No, it does not. It does not. I'm sorry. Like, I have firsthand experience. You're looking at a girl that was bigger, then lost weight. Then you're looking at a girl that had the ghetto aesthetic, just being honest with you, had the extremely long nails, had the colorful hair. You get treated differently. I will say, when I had like the ghetto girl look, I was treated very aggressively. Now I feel like I'm not treated as aggressively. I feel like people treat me more with care. They're I can see how they're softer towards me. And it's crazy how society is. Then I want to think what else. Weight loss, treated softer. Um, I think also when you put in work when it comes to like your health and stuff like that, people also look at you differently. Like they feel like you love yourself, and they also feel like they have to treat you a certain way because you've taken pride in your appearance, you've taken pride in how you carry yourself, and you've taken pride in your health. But they're not going to tell you that, though. They're not going to tell you that. Also, another thing is, I feel like body positivity is for white women. It's not for us. It's not for us at all. Ooh, we am I gonna talk about that? Body positivity is for white women, y'all. Yeah. I was so heavily in the body positivity movement, and in the, I would say, at the height of it. And I started realizing, I'm like, damn, body positivity is not for Black women, it's for white women. It's not for us at all. All right. We cannot be body positive. We have to be accepted based off of how we look, based off of our body, which was why, like, it just, like the Cheesecake Factory situation, I saw a lot of women that body shamed that woman for how she looks, saying, oh, like, she's a bigger woman, she has a gut, like, she's too big to be acting like this, she's dressed like she should be going to McDonald's. Like, I heard crazy, and I'm talking about from women. All right. But women are only what those women were only doing what they internally have been experiencing in the world. So women in the Black community especially feel like in order for them to be treated with queen treatment, they have to be basically damn near Black excellence. So, and y'all know how it is in the Black community. You really don't get respect from the Black community unless you're Black excellence. Like, you always have to be excellent. You cannot be average at best. In other communities, there are plenty of women who are average at best, gut and all, and they are treated a certain way and they live well. You know, they don't feel like they have to be Black and excellent to get a certain treatment. To get a meal at the Cheesecake Factory, girl, what? Like, that is insane. But maybe it's because of their environment. See, one thing that I noticed about Black culture is it's big on appearance. It's all about keeping up with the Joneses, which is why as Black women, we feel like we need to go to extreme lengths to meet these standards, because it's all about being seen a certain way in the community. The community doesn't really care about internally doing the work on the inside. It's all about appearing to be a certain way, which is why social media for us, I feel like it's very extreme. I do. And I think we influence social media where I feel we influenced other girls to go and get this done for the likes and the views and things like that. But really, it's before social media. It started in like high school, middle school, even college. You know, your first day as a black girl, your first day of school, your first week, you laid out all your outfits. You laid them all out, right? Because you had to present yourself a certain way, or else you were going to get roasted, you was going to get talked about. That has influenced the culture in so many ways. And so a lot of Black women feel like they have to be top tier, Black excellence, and just to get a meal at the Cheesecake Factory, like that is insane to me. And the reason why it's insane is because I had the pleasure of being able to grow up in the Black community, and I had the pleasure of being able to grow up in the white community. And because I've been able to witness both sides, they have similarities for sure. But the Black community is very extreme when it comes to appearance, and it's all about appearance. That's it. One thing that I noticed about the white community, they're big on appearances as well, but they will never compromise like their education. They will never compromise starting a business. They will never compromise treating people a certain way. They won't compromise those things. They will not compromise those things. But for us, we'll compromise an education. We'll compromise a business idea. We'll even compromise being seen a certain way to our family and things like that. So I started noticing at a young age, I'm like, damn, white people can be average and get so much support. And I'm sure you've seen it. Like, I'm sure you've seen the TikToks where you have the stay-at-home mom. All she does every day is do cleaning and cooking videos. And all she does is like take care of her kids. And you just see the comments, thousands of comments. And all this girl is doing is some basic, regular stuff. Basic and regular. But she gets so much support because in the white community, they support average. We do not. We do not support average. We do not support average. If I came on here every day with no makeup on, come on now. We do not support average at all. I've even seen my views, like if I'm not done up, dolled up on my videos, I've even seen my views go down. I've seen if I have a wig on, it's a different vibe. If my views tend to be more also another thing is like if I wear my natural hair, my views tend to go down. And I mean like my natural afro, I've been in this space for 10 years. So trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I've seen my views go down. So it's just like, wow, like when you are a Black woman, and we project it onto each other, sadly. We really do. Like there are women out here that feel like they got to be dressed to the nine just to go to the Cheesecake Factory. And if you are not dressed to the nine, your ass need to go to Wendy's or McDonald's. That is crazy to me because I've seen regular people. Growing up, I saw average at best white women live in $500,000 homes, lived in $1 million homes. They were average. And when I say average, average looking, like they didn't look like a supermodel. They didn't look like a runway model. Like they were just average. They were just average and they lived comfortably. But Black women, I mean, of course they did. Like, of course, some women, I knew about Botox when I was younger because I don't know, I was just in that community. So I like saw that type of stuff, which is part of the reason why I was able to get laser hair removal fairly young, because I knew about laser hair removal before it became popular, just because that was the community that I was in. And, you know, white women, they spend a lot of money on beauty too, but a lot of it is like, it's like ageism stuff, skin, Botox. It's like they focus more on fine lines, wrinkles, veins in the legs, and, you know, stuff like that. But we tend to focus on all of that plus, you know. And so for us, the beauty is just way more extreme. But what, you know, the sickening part about it is like Black men like to give Black women a hard time about how we put ourselves together. But let's not sit here and act like the pressure is not there for us to do that. It is. It is. That's why whenever they be coming on here talking about, I like my woman to be natural, girl, they don't even know what natural beauty really is. They don't know what natural beauty is. They do not. Like, I'll never forget one time I did my same makeup routine. I did no lashes. That's it. I just did no lashes. I didn't do a harsh couture or anything like that. And my daddy was like, oh, so natural. Oh. So like they really don't know. Like men don't know what natural is. They don't really know what they think. Natural is like no color. That's it. Like just don't wear no color. They know what the long lashes are because, you know, girl, them 25 mm's. Okay, clearly we can tell they're not natural. But like if you go put on like a more natural lash, come on now. Girl, I do not listen to these men. And I don't listen, especially they're not a woman. They don't know. That's why I don't listen to them when it comes to beauty. They really don't know the difference. And I'm telling you, if Black women went back to gatekeeping, we stopped doing these beauty videos online, they really wouldn't know nothing. They wouldn't know nothing. The only reason why men today know so much is because they sit up here, they'll never admit it, but they watch these tutorials. They watch these transformations and stuff like that. And so they feel like they know a little something, but they really don't know. They don't know. So it's crazy. So yeah, Black women, just know body positivity is not for you. It's really for white women. All right. Then another thing is when it comes to your community, which I advise that you kind of get away from it, because first of all, it's toxic, it's dysfunctional, it's really not helpful to your growth. You can't evolve in the Black community. I'm sorry, not as a Black woman. You can't, not in a healthy way. You could evolve in a very like, it's favoritism. And in order for you to evolve in the Black community, you have to be, first of all, you got to be seen a certain way. And if you're not seen a certain way, you can't evolve in the Black community as a Black woman. I'm sorry, you can't. Like, you have to really sacrifice a lot for you to evolve in the Black community. So I'm going to tell you, I would take a step back from the Black community and evolve in your individuality. Right. So you just focus on your individual growth and not try to like grow or change a community that does not want to change. I noticed that. And you could tell a community does not want to change when it keeps promoting the toxic shit. It keeps promoting the dysfunctional stuff. It keeps promoting the things that keep you stuck and keep you stagnant. It keeps promoting the drama. It keeps promoting the chaos. It keeps promoting the gender war among men and women. You cannot evolve in a community like that. So where can you evolve? Within yourself. Within yourself. How do you evolve within yourself? You focus on yourself. You focus on what you want to do with your life, and you leave it at that. You don't make it about the community. You don't make it about your family. You don't even make it about your friends. You make it about you and you only. Because if you try to make it about the community, you won't evolve. You won't. It's like, and to be honest, at one point we could say the oppressor, right, did it to us. But now we can't say that anymore. Like, we really can't. The oppressor put, liquor stores on every corner to keep us oppressed. Right? To influence us in that way, right? You go to the Black community, there's a liquor store on damn near almost every corner. And so it's to keep you stuck, it's to keep you stagnant. But now how we influence and the things that we promote in the Black community, it's to keep us stuck. We do it to each other now. And it used to be, oh, the oppressor would do it. They would, put the liquor stores in the community. They put the drugs in the community. But now the oppressor don't got it. The oppressor don't got to do nothing. You hear me? So as a Black woman, the only way you can truly evolve is to just do you. That's it. Just do you. Don't be trying to be no activist warrior. I'm telling you, it's crazy because I went out with a friend and we were celebrating, and she was celebrating the fact that she got her realtor's license and everything like that. And her business is growing and everything. And then I was celebrating for things that were going on in my life, which I'm not comfortable to talk about yet, but I will talk about eventually. But we were just having a conversation. We were like, we can't grow. We can't grow in that space. We cannot grow in that space. And then also we talked about how women will compete with you. Like, if they feel like you're reaching a certain level, it's hard to make, especially here in Houston, it's hard to make genuine connections with women and it doesn't turn into like a competition. I've noticed that a lot of Black women on TikTok talk about how it's hard for them to form community here. It's hard for them to find community here because everyone is like in their bubble. They're in their little, bubble, and they have their cliques and they have their favorites, and this person is popular. It's hard to truly form community and sisterhood in a true, genuine way, where it's like, I'm not asking you to do something for free for me. I will actually pay for your service, and vice versa. It's very hard to find genuine community where it's not like a competition. Like, I want to see you win just as much as I win. And when you move to Houston, and I really feel like this is for any bigger city, you really need to give yourself, because I didn't start finding community 2.5 years. So it took 2.5 years to find community. And it was crazy because there's so many Black women here. But to truly find community, I say 2.5, damn near 3 years for you to truly find genuine community. Okay. And it's just, I don't know why it's so difficult for us. I think partially because some women have that mindset that it can only be one, but I don't believe that. I believe, everyone has their purpose. I believe that everyone has their calling. I believe everyone brings something different to the table. So there's room for everybody. I don't feel like, oh, I don't have a scarcity mindset when it comes to success. I'm like, oh no, there can only be one. No, there could be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 1,000. Because I feel like there maybe there's 10 people or 50 people that they don't like me, or they don't connect with me. But then there's another woman that they can connect to, where it's just a better suit for them. Like that's how my mindset works. Even when it comes to the Black women's empowering space on YouTube, like people want me to down another Black woman. And I'm just like, no, like she has her audience and she connects to those women. I have my audience and I connect to these women. And we can still coexist and not feel like we have to be at each other or compete with each other. Like she connects, like imagine me trying to sit here and be like, oh, it can only be me. How can I get to everybody? Like, honestly, like I need people on my team. I need people to help me. I need people to work with me. Like I need more people, not, oh, it can only be me. And I'm the only one that can do it. I can't. They're like, literally, that's ridiculous. No, I need help. That's how I see it. We are a team. We work together. We all have the same message. So there's room for everybody. I just don't understand why it can only be me. A lot of women have that mindset. And I'm just like, why? I don't get it. I really don't get it. And it's so unfortunate because we should be able to come together and work together and collab together and things like that. But I know, y'all know I don't do drama, which is why I don't do collabs. It's not that I don't know how to work with people. It's not that I don't even know how to share rooms and spaces with people. It's just I don't do drama in the Black space. And I have to say the Black space. That competition shit, it's just no. It's just not for me. Like I can't. I just refuse to do it. I refuse to do it. I refuse to do it. Like to a certain extent, like I don't even feel comfortable telling my audience who I'm cool with in this space, like whose number I have, who I text, who I talk to. Cause like nope. I don't have a scarcity mindset. I believe everyone has their purpose, everyone has their role. There's room for everybody, even the newcomers. Like if you are a woman where you're thinking about doing a podcast, you're thinking about starting your own YouTube channel, you're thinking about starting your own TikTok, do it. I'm not going to be like, oh no, you shouldn't do that. Why not? Like, first of all, the way my mind works, there's a new generation of women that's coming. All right. Who's going to help them? It can't be me. I can't be everywhere. I'm only one person. Who's going to help the younger generation of women? You know what I mean? Like and then we also need someone that's closer to the youth. So like if you're, I don't know, 22, you're wise, start a channel. You connect with your age group. They may not, and that's the thing about connecting with your age group. Right now, they may not be rocking with you heavy, but 5 years, 6, 7 years from now, they will. We can't help everybody, y'all. I'm not selfish like that. And I don't have a scarcity mindset. So do it. If that's something that you really want to do it. Wherever it is. If you have a brilliant idea and you're trying to birth it, bring it to light, the best advice that I can give you is don't feel like you have to start off perfect, because you're never going to start. All right. That's perfectionism, which is causing you to procrastinate and everything like that. Just start and you will learn as you go. That's the only way you're going to start. If you feel like, oh, I have to wait until I get this, or I have to get the perfect body, or I don't know, like I have to get my makeup better. Listen, you're not going to ever start. You're never going to start. All right. You have to take actions. You do. Remember, I said, and I think I said this on my Patreon, I said, your actions have to match your desired outcome. And as a woman, because your beauty is capitalism, your look has to match your desired outcome. And so when I was trying the purple and I was trying the pink and the green hair and stuff like that, it did not align with my desired, if I could put that in capital letters, my desired outcome. It did not match. So I had to make some changes. I had to compromise a little bit. And sometimes that's life, you may have to compromise a little bit. I was mentoring earlier today, and a mentee of mine she met a man, y'all. She met a man, and he seems like a really nice guy. And she was afraid to tell me. And I was like, girl, why are you afraid to tell me that you found like a man has came into your life and he has been a blessing to you? She was afraid to tell me because she felt like I was going to be mad. And I was like, girl, what? I just couldn't believe it because I'm just like, what? Like, why would I be mad? Now, the reason, and I understand why, she felt like it fit, it was like a cliche type of situation where the last conversation we had, she was talking about going overseas and teaching. And she wanted to do that. And I think it's called nomad. She wanted to be like a nomad traveler and, a wanderlust girl. And I was like encouraging her to do it, like do it. If that's what you want to do, I'm a big supporter of you doing what you want to do. But when she came back for the second, like our second session, she was nervous. Is digital nomad? Okay, yeah, digital nomad. She was nervous to tell me that she had made a different choice for herself. She met a man. He's been wonderful. He's been great. He made it official. They only dated for, I think she said like 4 weeks. And then like he made her his girlfriend. He knew. Okay, so I was like off rip. I'm like, okay, this man sound like he intentional. Okay, this don't sound bad. Now, one thing I noticed about her energy, she got a glow about herself. She seems very happy. So the reason why she was nervous to tell me was because she felt like it was cliche that she met a guy and she changed course. She met a guy and she changed path. And I'm just like, do you feel happy with your decision? Like, is your life your desire? If your life and how you're living it is your desire, why do you feel the need to change it? And she was like, what? I never really thought about it like that. And like I said, like I give commentary. At the end of the day, it's your life. You have free will. You can do whatever you want to do with your life, but make sure your actions, they align with your desires. And so the more we started talking, I started realizing that the only reason why she wanted to do the digital nomad lifestyle was because she wanted to get away from her family. And so that wasn't a true desire of hers. It was a trauma response. And I was like, you shouldn't feel guilty about changing course according to what you want. Like, what are you feeling guilty about? You decided to make this decision for yourself. You decided that you wanted to be in love. You wanted a relationship. I'm never going to be like, girl, you shouldn't do that. Why would I say that? If it's truly what you want, it's what you want. I don't try to project. And I used to, but I'm really watching myself with that, with developing just a higher level of self-awareness. It's still you have to live your life the way that you want to live your life. If she made that course or that path change, it was strictly because that's what she wanted. And what she did was she made me proud, because even though we had that conversation, right, she still did what she wanted to do because it's her life. Now, one thing that she did do was, at the time, our first session, she lived at home with her grandmother and she did not like it. So she got her own place. Then after she moved out, she got her own place. She bought a new car. And then this man just appeared in her life. And I'm just like, sometimes that's life. Sometimes you have all of these great things, these great changes happening in your life. And sometimes you have to make that hard adult decision. And what was the decision? Take a risk on love or take a risk on missing out on love by trauma responding to the fact that you didn't want to live with your grandmother. And so she made that choice for her. She made that choice for herself. And I'm glad she didn't talk to me. I'm glad that she made that decision independently, because at the end of the day, it was her choice to do that, and I'm proud of her for making that choice for herself. She made it for herself. She didn't make it based off of what I said. She didn't make it based off of what social media is saying. She didn't make it based off of maybe a different influencer or a different woman online. She made it based off of her own desires. So for that, I was very proud of her. I'm like, this is your choice. As long as you're happy with it, that's all that matters. And one thing that I will say though is when you make choices and decisions, they're not easy, you know? They're not easy at all. Like they're going to be kind of difficult, right? Cuz you have to decide, okay, what is more important to me right now? And ladies, getting love, it's a risk. There's never going to be a perfect time. There's never going to be a perfect moment. There's never going to be, oh, I know he's the right man. Love is a risk. It is what it is. It's a risk. It's never going to be an easy thing. It's going to be you taking a risk. But I will say, is the risk really what you want for yourself? And she really wanted that. So she took the risk. Like, how could I be mad at her for that? I can't be mad at her for that. So if that is what you truly want, then do it. She always wanted a family. She grew up the only child. She doesn't really come from the best family. So when she found this guy, she was in therapy and she talked to her therapist about it. And her therapist gave her similar advice. It's like, at the end of the day, this is your choice. And she realized, like, okay, I'm just trauma responding by doing the digital nomad. But this guy, my life is going so well, I'm going to take the risk and I'm going to take this path. But it was truly what she wanted, though, at the core of her desires. So it's just like, girl, you made the right choice. That's it. That's all life is. It's not about going off of what somebody else is telling you. Sometimes you don't really need the outside opinions because it can cloud your true desires. So figure out what you really want. Okay. But I was like, if you follow me on Patreon, I've been telling y'all some men was coming into your life. That a lot of my collectives that are truly a part of my tribe, girl, you're supposed to move, get a new car. Like, she literally got everything that I was saying. So I was like, this sounds like the guy that I've been talking about for like the last months. I've been talking about this man, whoever this man is. I've been talking about him for the last month. I'm like, there's some man coming. And I don't like to blow smoke up your ass, especially when it comes to a man, because I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I may be pushing you in the arms of a toxic man or a narc or something like that. So if I'm saying it, girl, come on now. Because I'm not about to blow smoke up your ass. All right. I don't believe in doing that. I see tarot readers and all that type of stuff blow smoke up other women's asses, and they don't think about how they could be pushing them back to a toxic relationship, or pushing them back to a toxic situationship, or pushing them back to an abuser or something. That's why if I say it, it must be true, girl. It must be true, because I'm not about to tell you that. All right. He seems very supportive of her as well. So one thing that she did decide to do was she decided to become more active in her community and work and mentor with children the ages of 6 through 17. So that was her compromise, was okay. Yes, like, finding love was a bigger desire for me, but I still have this desire to help children and mentor children and be around children, because she said that even when she was young, she's never held a baby before, y'all. Like, it's like stuff like that. So she felt like, okay, I'm still getting everything that I want. It just looks differently. So she's still being proactive with her desires while still being in a relationship. She's still being proactive with what she truly wanted to do, which was to help children ages 6 through 17. So it's just like, sometimes that's life, that is life. All right. I'm sure, y'all. I'm sure. Come on, we don't do the BS. All right. We do not do the BS. I think the man is in school. I forgot what she said he was in what he was in school for. Um why do you automatically think he's a toxic man? What who said he was toxic? Who said he was toxic? I don't know what just happened, but I'm like, who said he was toxic? I'm talking about readers. All right, I'm talking about readers. Some readers are encouraging and influencing women to go to a toxic relationship unknowingly sometimes. So that's why I'm careful about what I say when I do readings, because I don't want you to go back to a toxic person. It depends on if the man is actually toxic or not. Sometimes I really be feeling like people be taking the things that I say out of context, y'all. I just be like, damn. Yes, do I feel like women should be optimistic and get away from scarcity mindset? Yes, but you should also be grounded enough to also understand not to be gullible and naive. Like, it's about balance. No, I didn't say her. I'm not arguing today. Yep, you're right. Yep, I said that. You're right. I'm not arguing with nobody. The girls that get it, and the girls that don't. You're right. You got it. All right. Because I know damn well I did not say that. What else did I wanted to talk about? Ooh, I wanted to talk about this too. Let me see if I can find it. Did y'all see that situation with Lori Harvey? Let me just. I couldn't believe this. I'm not. Listen, if you don't get it, you don't get it. If you think I'm just a negative Nancy and I think every man out here is bad, listen, that's your own projection. That ain't mine. That don't got nothing to do with me. I'm very much aware not every man out here is toxic.
Good.
Phenomenal. I'm probably gonna get some shit for this, but Lori Harvey.
Oh, Lori Harvey.
It wasn't like a smash though. Like, it was like I was really like with her. She was really with me. But she would Uber to like my place on the beach, and come out with me and stay with me some nights.
Was it good?
Phenomenal. Mind you. And this is before she got like thin. I was with thick Lori. Yeah. She wasn't thin like she is now. I prefer the old Lori, honestly.
Did you go raw?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
She was very, very conscientious. I'm not gonna lie to you. One time, I was trying to be slick and get a video.
Bruh.
This girl was like so on it. Like,
She be looking around for a camera and everything.
Yo, she was so on it.
Damn, son.
Honestly, what ended up happening was I don't really know how to like lead people, so I always get left. I had someone that I was dealing with,
Right.
and I loved her, but I really, 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 really liked Lori. But I'm not the type of kid to kind of like just for someone because what they could do for me. Because obviously that'd be lit. Like, oh my god, but Lori Harvey. But I was very insecure too. Like, she told me like her ex was like Tyga and all this like crazy shit. All the things that she. I'm like, you fucking with me? Like,
Right.
I can't do for you. So I kind of like sabotage it, but like purposely because like I had something going on and I didn't know how to just like be real.
It was rumors about you and Sweetie.
Oh,
Sweetie's mother.
Mom, Trinidad.
Oh shit! Did you smash Sweetie's mom?
Trinidad. I remember that. Oh yeah. So yeah. It's interesting. Her fucking husband ended up DMing me. And I hope you're happy. You ruined you ruined the family, and I made sure she had a great time.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for.
You serviced her.
I call it the Prince experience.
What celebrities have you smashed?
I'm probably gonna get some shit for this, but Lori Harvey.
Oh, Lori Harvey.
It was.
Ladies, I honestly don't know what to tell you anymore. Honestly, these men, I mean, this why girl, this is why the legs are closed. All right, this is why these men talk too damn much. They pillow talking on social media. Who does that? Who does that? And I can't believe men like this still have access to women. It doesn't make any sense. No, it's not. First of all, I feel like we are now in a space where it's not safe to have casual relations. It's not safe to have casual relations. Men are recording, they gossiping, they going online telling everybody their business and stuff like that. And I'm just like, wow. Nope. So, when men are out here moving like this, it's such a turnoff. It really is. It's such a turnoff. So y'all be careful out here. NDAs, if you need an NDA, hold on. Oh, I don't have it on my laptop. Or do I? I don't think I do. No, I don't have it over here. I would be able to send you the link, girl. But listen, if you got everything to lose, I have an NDA if you need it, hun. I have an NDA if you need it, because I just can't do it. It used to be like women would do this type of stuff, and now men are doing this type of stuff. It's very strange. It is very, 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 very strange. Yeah, they like to gossip, but men been doing this. Like, let's be honest, men, they've been doing this, but now they're starting to do it to get attention, and it's very weird. They're starting to do it to get attention on social media. Do you think it's important to tell a guy you're celibate? No, it's not their business. It's not their business. I told you, I had this conversation. I don't know if you were on my Instagram live the other day, but I told y'all my struggles with dating, being a virgin. Like people don't understand this, but I struggled with my dating life because I was a virgin. So I struggled with my dating life from the age of, when did I really actively start dating? I started dating when I was like 20. So I struggled with my dating life from 20 to 27 years old because I was a virgin. Like, men make the assumption that it's because I was out here dating thugs and stuff like that. No, it was because I was a virgin. And at the time, I only dated Black men. Just, this is my truth. If you get upset, talk to your mama about it. Don't come talking to me. But Black men had an issue with my virginity. They had an issue with me being a virgin all the way up until, like, they kept using, it was like, it's so weird because men be trying to humble me, and I'm just like, I've been humbled. Majority of my life, I've had these experiences. So men, the issue was with them was, when I was 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 years old, they felt like I didn't have enough experience for a long-term committed relationship. And the issue was my virginity. Like, it was just such a big deal. Even if I had dated other people and I was seeing other people and it never led to sex, they felt like there was, like, I needed to have sex in order to be considered. And it was only a consideration to be considered for a long-term committed relationship. So, it was just, it's that's why when men be talking about, oh, like, I need a woman with a low body count. No, like, I'm not buying that. I'm just not buying that. I got rejected from 20 all the way up until 27 due to my virginity. It's crazy. So I feel, and then men, the reason why I would keep, if you are a virgin, I would keep it to yourself because men will try to weaponize your lack of experience against you. So if you tell a man that you're a virgin, the first thing he gonna think is, oh, she inexperienced. I can run game on her. That's number one. So keep it to yourself. Celibacy. Men will try to weaponize celibacy against you. Like he'll try to, first of all, I'm gonna be real with you. Most men won't believe you're truly a virgin. Most men won't believe that you're truly celibate. All right. A lot of I gotta be real with y'all. A lot of men be projecting the fact that they mama was a hoe. Let's be real about it. A lot of these men will project that they mama was a hoe. They'll project it onto you. So a lot of these men saw their mama out here hoeing, selling that cat, and so they think all women are like that. So you saying you're celibate, you saying you're a virgin, they don't believe that. Also, the men that have these thought processes, they be the biggest hoes. Let me explain. Their misogyny, right? They're traumatized because they watched their mama be a hoe. Then they became a hoe like their mama. And then they project their misogyny on you, right? And they expect for you to be a virgin. It's the weirdest thing. Blueface, prime example. Let me pull that up real quick. Prime example. Because I was just talking about this the other day. The men that be like, oh, I want a woman with a low body count. They be the biggest hoes, and their mama most likely was the biggest thought. All right. So they're traumatized. No telling what they saw. There's no telling what they saw. But that's not my business either. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. All right. That's why you see Blueface, he keep talking about how his mama is a whore and his baby mama Jaden has only been with him and him only. Sir, it's all starting to make sense. You're traumatized. You have mommy issues. You saw your mama out here. God knows what you saw when she was out here doing God knows what. And now you project that trauma on women. You are a hoe. You can be with as many women as you want, but you expect for your woman to only be with you. Make it make sense. And it's all because I don't know what he saw his mom out here doing. I don't know how he saw his mom out here getting treated. I don't know what it is, but he has a big issue with his mother. Scrappy is a great example as well. So Blueface said, my mother is a whore, been married 3 times, 3 kids by 3 different men, and never married none of them men, only random men she liked with a lot of money so she could divorce and take from them. And at the end of all of it, she's sleeping with a bum every night. Sad story for real. Could never respect her as a woman. Okay. So basically, he saw his mom in survival mode, and she saw the way his mom dated or interacted with men was based and rooted in survival. And so that traumatized him as a young kid. It actually has an effect on how he views relationships, how he views women, how he treats women, and how he sees himself. So he learned at a very young age that most women only want him for money. So he feels like Jaden is loyal to him. She's only been with him. And then she also feels like, oh, like she was with me when I didn't have anything. So that's why he married her, or he's wanting to marry her. It's simply for that reason, because he watched his mother. That's why y'all be careful what y'all do in front of these kids. Ooh. Yeah, he was definitely a son husband as well. They have a very weird relationship. So a lot of these men, when you tell them, you know, about your celibacy, you don't know what they watch their mama do. You have no idea what they've seen their mama do. So if you come to them, you be like, I'm celibate. If they have mommy issues, girl, they're gonna weaponize your celibacy against you. First of all, they're not gonna believe you. I don't care if you're celibate or you're a virgin. They're not going to believe you, especially if it's a toxic man. It's just best to keep it to yourself. You only need to let the man know when a man becomes intentional with you. And just because you go out on one little date, that don't mean a man is intentional with you. It just means he took you out. That's it. Yeah, you tell a man you're abstaining and his nature is to test. Yeah, it's to test you. Now you're being in a position, impositioned and tempted, move like the G in lasagna. No, but for real, that's why I'm just like, listen, if you want to play those Olympic games, then tell a man that you are in fact celibate, abstaining from sex, whatever, or tell the man you're a virgin. But I'm telling you, I would not tell any man unless he becomes intentional with you. If he's not intentional, there's no need in you telling him that. He's just going to weaponize or like try to manipulate you with that information. I wouldn't tell them shit. I'm glad you said that, honey, because most guys like Blueface are the big hoes. Yeah, girl. That's why I'm just like, it's the audacity for you to sit up here and call your mama a whore when you be out here swinging that thing either which way. It has godlike requirements. Like, yes, it's just, but it's because he feel like honestly, his mom actually created his mindset because she was out here dating and using men out of survival money. And so he feels like he's a god because he has the money, because he watched how his mom treated men with money. It's a mess. 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 So y'all be careful out here. Y'all be careful out here. So ladies, sometimes that's why, like, don't ever internalize what men say or how they view you, because it could be coming from the fact that they saw their mama, their sister, an auntie, a grandmother, or maybe just the women in their family. They saw the women in their family move a certain type of way, which has them thinking a certain type of way because they're truly traumatized and they think all women move like that. Have you noticed that Black men in this space, whenever they talk about single motherhood, they literally are pulling the information from their own trauma? They're not pulling it because they looked at the statistics or they're looking at the facts. They're pulling it from their own personal traumatic experience with their own mother. That's why I don't listen to them. That's all they're doing. And then they project their trauma, their scarcity, their dysfunction, the things that they saw, they project it onto all women as if we all like that. And I'm just like, that's crazy. That is insane. That's why I don't be listening to them. A lot of the men that be coming on here talking trauma. That's all it is. And then this man is reacting to his own traumatic experiences with his mother, and Jaden is like a pawn in she's just being manipulated because it's just a reaction. It's just a mess. I'm just like, girl, and then the Black community is doing what? Highlighting this relationship. I'm like, this is a mess. That's what I'm saying. As a Black woman, you cannot evolve in the Black community. I'm sorry. Do not waste your time with that. I wasted my time with that. When I went out with my girlfriend and we celebrated her realtor license and things like that, we had that conversation at the dinner table. Like, you know, when you're in the Black community and you are trying to evolve and you're trying to level up and you want to bring the community with you, you can't. All right. You have two options. And this is coming from women that we're in our 30s. I don't know how old she is actually, but I'm in my 30s. This is coming from mid-age women, right? Do not waste your time with that. Do not waste your time with trying to bring your family on with you. Do not waste your time trying to bring a friend with you. Listen, everybody can come when you level up. Everyone cannot come when you evolve. And and to be honest, when it comes to the Black community, they got that crab in the bucket mentality. They just gonna pull you back down. So you have two options. You could be the activist warrior where you fighting a good fight. And listen, we were sitting down thinking about how we used to go so hard for the Black community, and then we have nothing to show for that shit. Like, we don't have nothing to show for it. Literally, the community is worse. It's not better. And we put in so much energy and time and effort, and it's wasted. We could have been putting all of that and pouring all of that into ourselves, you know? So I'm saying when we had that conversation at dinner, that we're like, damn, if I could just go back and put more into myself, I could be further. But we was trying to bring the community on. We was trying to put the community on. We was trying to give back, and no, no. Okay, you just gonna have to go off and do you. You got to be that black sheep when it comes to your level up. You got to be that black sheep when it comes to you evolving. You can't bring everybody on with you. And the honest to God though, it's because people don't want to change. It actually takes work. You know, like you have to go get educated. You have to be disciplined. You have to be consistent. Not everybody want to do that. The black community really don't want to do it. The black community only cares about image. That's it. So if you're the type where you really want to level up from the inside out, girl, you cannot do it within the black community. You have to go outside the box and do your own thing. All right. Help those that want it. You know, like you can mentor. I only have patience for children. I don't have patience for grown folks. So I give back to women through my mentoring business. They pay though. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting something from it. But I'm not wasting my time with a grown ass person. You out of your mind. I'm not doing it. The churn, I have so much love and patience for kids because they're truly innocent. They didn't ask to be brought into this community and it be dysfunctional. So I have so much patience for them. But grown folks, no. Like, did y'all see Toya Wright? What is her? Let me see if I can find it. Her brother's talking about one of her brothers talking about, I blame Toya because she didn't I blame Toya for my brother's death because she could have moved us out of the environment, but she didn't do so. How is that her job? Girl. I'm talking about Lil Wayne's baby mama. I think that's her last name, right? I'm like, how is it your sister's job to get you out of an environment? She got herself out of that environment. Girl, listen, you may have to leave some family behind. And see, that's the problem that I have with the black community is your family expect for you to help. Toya Johnson. Is it Toya Johnson, right? So what's her last name? Because I know she got remarried, didn't she? Girl, the level of entitlement, and it's coming from two grown ass men. I'm like, did her last name change? Do not try to save your family. I'm gonna tell you that now. Your family just gonna slow you down. Just being honest. Do not try to bring on your family. You trying to change the world, sis. You can change the world by just focusing on you. Because me and her were sitting down at the table and we just started laughing at how we just wasted. Oh, it's rushing. Okay, that was okay. That was her husband before that. Okay, it's rushing. Okay. But we just started laughing at how we wasted so much time on trying to put everybody on. Listen, leave their ass behind. All right. Do not try to put, and yeah, you want to go through a level up. Cause I even did this. You want to go through a level up. You're trying to bring all your friends on. And you know what's so fucked up about how you try to level up, you trying to bring your friends on and everything like that. And then they have the audacity to get jealous of you because they see how you're leveling up and you're reaping the benefits and they're starting to see the results. And then they try to act like you wasn't trying to like do it with them. Listen, I'm telling you this now. If you are at that stage in your level of journey, your friend ain't trying to do it with you. She don't want to be dedicated. Her mind is, I don't know where her mind is. Like, honestly, when I started my level up journey, where were my friends? My friends that I no longer am friends with because of jealousy and envy. My friends were out partying. They was out hanging out with this guy, wasting time, just being honest, because they not with them men today. And then, you know, them men, they weren't paying shit. If they was paying shit, then I'm like, all right. Them men weren't paying nothing. Like they was just wasting so much time with partying, drinking, men, and literally it got them nowhere. So if you trying to, you young, you like 20 something, you like 19, 20, 21, 22, and you like, oh girl, let's level up together. Girl, no. And you see that your friend is not focused, she's not consistent, she's not disciplined, you're going to have to leave her behind. She may be able to catch up with you later. That I'm not saying that that's not a possibility, but you may have to distance yourself a little bit as you go through the process of truly leveling up your life, because she's a bad influence. She is right now where she is in the phase in her life is not where you need her to be in order for you to truly level up. She's a distraction. She's a bad influence. She tries to get you to do this. She may even try to get you to spend money and waste time on things. When you're in your level up, you may not be able to spend money the way that you want to. I know when I was really trying to save and make true progress financially and stuff like that, I'm like, you had women out here that was trying to like get me to spend money and do this. And I remember during this time, back in the day, you used to go to Charlotte Rouge and you used to get the dress, or you used to go to Forever 21, get the dress. And girl, I'm broke. Like, let's be for real. I first of all, I'm the type of person where if I ain't got it, you ain't gonna see me out. The hell I look like with $5 in my purse? Ooh, let me go spend the last 50 that I have to go get an outfit just to go out, and then only have like $10 to spare. I hated going out like that. I was like, I don't feel comfortable. I don't. So when I truly decided to truly like focus, and that's the thing, you gotta focus. When I decided that, girl, they was making fun of me, talking about you boring, you don't never want to do nothing, you don't ever want to leave the house. I'm like, girl, I'm broke. What kind of fun am I really gonna have? I'm not gonna have no real fun. So I stayed in the house, and that's the thing. Sometimes when it comes to your level up, you need to stay in the house. You need to get creative, find fun, or I started picking up extra hours because I just didn't like my life. Like you know how some people, they are comfortable with like penny pinching and like literally scraping the bottom of the barrel just to be out and be seen. I'm like, girl, I don't want to be seen while I'm broke. I want to be unseen. Like I'm not gonna have fun for real. If I know, and this is the thing, when I was struggling financially like this, I would go on vacation, right? And come back, and I gotta catch up now. Like, who wants to do that? And now I'm the vacation was not even really a vacation, because now I'm stressed as if I never went on vacation, because now I have to like basically bounce back from the fact that I went on vacation. I was like, this can't be the way that I'm supposed to live my life. I can't live like this. It was very stressful. Very, 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 very stressful. So sometimes you got to sit in the house and really build financially, starting with your credit. Build yourself up financially, so then when you go on vacation, you can actually enjoy yourself. And then when you come back from vacation, it's not like you have to scramble and try to like catch up. I'm like, this cannot be a way to truly live your life. Because it was just, I'm like, how am I stressed? And it's the first day back from vacation. This cannot be real. So I had to sit in the house. I sat in the house for a little while. I started getting into free activities, and that's when I was really able to really zoom in, focus in on what I needed to do to put myself in a better situation. See, a lot of people don't want to sit in the house, because when you sit in the house, ain't nobody seeing you for real. You don't get no attention when you're in the house. Nobody can, and that was the thing. Like my friends at that age, and yeah, they were young. And maybe I was ahead. Maybe I was, thinking more ahead. I don't know. But I was just like, if I focus now, I'll be able to have fun and really have fun and not be stressed trying to have fun. That's what it was for me. I'm like, I should be able to go on vacation and have fun and not stress about coming back from vacation. Like, I didn't feel like I know that was like the thing to do but I wasn't really having fun for it. I was stressed. I just couldn't stand it, y'all. It was just too much. All right. So I had to stay in the house, sit down, got a little creative with that for a little while, got my life together, corrected some stupid choices and decisions that I made when I was younger, and tried to fix my life, so I could actually start to enjoy my life where I didn't feel like I had to escape it or go on vacation. Sometimes, and I started to realize that the girls I was hanging around, the reason why they would go out so much or they felt like they had to vacation more was because they needed to escape their life. And I'm like, I don't feel like I should feel the need to escape my life. Why can I not just fix it so then I don't feel the need to escape it? Like I could just live my life and be happy in it. So when sometimes when you do things your way, you're seen as corny, weird, boring, and everything like that. But I'm so glad I set my ass in that house, because now I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. I can take a vacation when I want to take a vacation. I can go where I want to go. I have freedom. The freedom that they had, which was still not even real freedom, right? They had the freedom, but it was like they couldn't really enjoy it. I have the freedom now, and I feel like I can like financially enjoy it. So listen, if you have a girlfriend or a friend right now and they just not getting it, they tried to peer pressure you. And that was another thing. I would get peer pressured a lot to spend money I did not have, go places that I couldn't really afford, because I just wasn't in that financial position. Then I started realizing that the same women I was hanging around, it was a front. They didn't really have it either. They didn't have it. And I was just like, so it was like a rat race. It was like, okay, you go on vacation to catch up. So you come back, you in debt, and you got to catch up. I was like, that's not freedom to me. I'm like in this rat race where I feel like I'm on a hamster wheel, and eventually I'm gonna get burnt out and I'm gonna just get tired. And I'm like, I don't feel like that's how I'm supposed to live my life. So sometimes you have to sit in the house, regroup, and it's temporary, you guys. It's so temporary. But it's not fun. Like, I gotta be honest with you. You can get super creative, you can come up with some things to do, but it's not really fun. And yes, you see your friends out living their life and everything, but it's just, it may not be what you think when you see them out here having fun and stuff like that while you're in the house trying to get your life together. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. But then when the results of you sitting in the house getting your life together, and those same friends that was making fun of you, was peer pressuring you, was talking about you and you didn't know, was doing all this extra shit, once they start to see by you sitting in the house and getting your life together, and now they see the results of that, then they get jealous. It's just, girl, it's a mess. That's why I'm like, when it comes to your level up, you may have to leave some people behind. It ain't a beef. It's not a beef. Wish them well. All right. Love them from a distance, but you got to go. All right. You got to go. Your life is going in a totally different direction, and they just don't understand. And that's okay. Yoni, so I watched your old videos to buy house items first before moving out. And my goal is to start building credit at age 20 at Capital One. Oh yeah. Capital One is good to help build your credit. Cause I use Capital One. All right. Capital One approves a lot of people too. Capital One, my lady. Okay. You on the right track, sweetie. All right. You are on the right track. Oh, thank you. That is so sweet. That's why thank you for saying that you guys are watching my older videos, because I refuse to take that down. If I look rough, if my makeup is heavy, I got contacts in. Listen, Yoni, I just want y'all to see that is where I started. I'm never deleting those videos. I'm never deleting that. All right. Partially because it reminds me of where I came from. I can go back and watch those videos and be reminded of my why. Why did I do this? Why did I start this channel? Why? And I appreciate you guys for going back and watching those older videos, because I want you to truly see the process. And to be honest, because I documented a lot of my life during that time, I was more transparent during that time as well. You can connect to a video or maybe a phase if you go back far enough, and you may be in that phase that I was in. So then you can go back and like start, and then whatever information I was given at that time, and it may actually resonate with you and where you are in life. And I feel like spiritually needed this tonight. So thank you all, as always. You're so welcome. Capital One sucks, but like if you're really trying to build your credit, I feel like it's great. And if you, I don't know, it depends on the credit card that you get though too, because I like my 5% back. Thank you, Juju. That is very sweet. All right, but if you got to sit in the house, listen, do it. My girls that I mentor, they sit in the house. We have conversations. They come to me. They like, Yoni, I just feel like my life is passing me by. I'm like, listen, your life is not passing you by. It's just social media has an interesting way to influence you to think that you are not where you need to be. You're exactly where you need to be. Trust the process. Don't ever forget to truly trust the process. All right. If you need to go back and watch some of my older videos, listen, trust the process. Where you are is not where you're going to remain. All right. As long as you keep staying focused, disciplined, you keep working on yourself, you stay motivated, you will start to see the progress. This is a slow journey. It's not fast. Okay. It's a marathon and it's not a sprint. So I know social media, it just seems like people get things fast. And I remember that. I'm like, dang, why I feel like everybody get things fast. Stay focused on you. Do not compare your journey to others. All right. I had to learn that very, very young, because I had to consider the fact that I have been through a lot. I'm like, how am I supposed to be here and this person is, further ahead or whatever like that? And I have been through a lot of things. I don't know what this person has gone through. I don't know if they've been through as much as I've been through or less. You can't compare your journey to other people. Okay. And that was the main message. And I understand the dress situation, like the birthday girl that ended up being fake, or well, partially fake. The birthday girl wasn't the actual birthday girl. Black women, I don't understand why people keep doing fake stories to go viral. I really don't understand it. Okay. I don't get why are we doing that? And it's so negative, and it really sends a negative image for us. It's like, can we think before we do things and publicly share things online? Can we think about how this is going to make us all look like, because that's how it is. You know how it is for Black women. Like, we just have it harder than everybody else. Okay. Girl, it was fake too. Yeah, it was fake too. I'm just like, why do y'all keep doing this? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. So, but one thing that I wanted to say, because even though that story was fake, it did bring up some an interesting conversation, because I saw women on TikTok where they were talking about how you gonna allow your friend to upstage you on your birthday, or the friend knew what she was doing and all of this stuff. And I'm just like, the key thing when it comes to your womanhood, and I hope I got this message across the first time, but if I didn't, I'm bringing it up now. When you have to compare yourself, you already lost. And that's what women don't understand. When the birthday girl when she came to the conclusion that her friend upstaged her, right? And at this point, we're just using it as an example, because a lot of women felt like she was upstaged. For you to feel like that, you have to compare. You should not be comparing at all. You want to know why? Because you have accepted yourself in full. So let me explain that. When you truly accept yourself, you become aware that there are going to be women who are conventionally more attractive than you. I'm aware of that. I have accepted myself, my flaws, my insecurities, the things that I don't really and I want to embrace about myself. But when you truly accept yourself, you embrace the good, the bad, and the indifferent. So when you truly embrace yourself, you don't feel the need to compare because you have truly embraced yourself. You know that there are going to be women out here that are more attractive than you. And you don't care. You want to know why? Because you have truly embraced yourself. You don't compare. You just don't feel the need to do that. You're going to show up as your best. That's it. And you expect for other women to do the same. Why? Because they have also accepted themselves. Just like you accepted yourself, they have accepted themselves. So by accepting yourself, you're always going to show up as your authentic self. You should always show up as your best. And sometimes your best could be you still dressing down, right? But you are still showing up as your best. Like you have the best attitude, the best mindset. You're showing up as your best and your authentic self. So you don't feel the need to compare. When you truly view yourself as the main character, you don't care if your friend is dressed to the nine because you dress to the nine. You know, it's like it's all about you. It's not about the other women at all. When you have to compare, and that was the thing that a lot of women on TikTok, I saw their takes, and I'm like, the women are still not getting it because in order for you to feel like your friend outdressed you, you have to compare. You shouldn't be comparing yourself at all. You should not, because you accepted yourself. And so by you accepting yourself, you're realistic and you understand that there are going to be women that are more attractive than you. It doesn't reduce your confidence. It shouldn't reduce your confidence that you have within yourself because you have accepted yourself. So you have accepted the truth that there are going to be other women that are more attractive than you. But as long as you look your best and you feel your best, that's all that matters. So you shouldn't even feel the need to compare. But a lot of women are like, oh, she upstaged her. I'm like, for you to think that and for you to believe that, you had to compare. And you should not be comparing because then you're competing. Comparing is competing. When you show up, say at a track meet, and you hear the critics on the track meet, you hear them giving their commentary on the track meet or whatever like that. What are they doing? Comparing to opponents. Comparing to opponents. And the two opponents are doing what? Competing. That's why I said what women were not seeing, and I don't know why they weren't seeing it, but I'm like, as soon as you compare, you're competing. It's that simple. And then as soon as you feel the need to compare, you're competing, you're not that confident because none of that should matter to you because you truly have accepted yourself. All right. And like I said, accepting yourself means that there are going to be women that are more attractive than you, and it should not matter. You should see the greatness within yourself. Like me personally, I think one of the easiest thought process that I have, or I won't say the easiest, but I guess the more optimistic process that I have with me accepting myself and understanding that there are going to be women that are more attractive than me is understanding that I value myself. Like I value what I bring. I value my personality. I value my intelligence. I value my thought process. I value my perspective on things. I feel like I'm enough. And sometimes it truly takes you falling in love with yourself for you to feel like you don't need to compare. You don't need to compete. Like you have to fall in love with yourself. And I'm going to be real with you. For you to truly fall in love with yourself, you have to decenter these men. You got to decenter them. You got to decenter these men. All right. You got to, you are never going to fall in love with yourself until you decenter men. I said what I said. You're never going to fall hopelessly, romantically in love with yourself until you decenter men. All right. Until you decenter them. You have to decenter them. You have to reverse the male identity that you may have, like their thoughts, like how they think, you internalize that, right? So it may have created some male identified perspectives. You need to delete that. Start there. For you to truly fall in love with yourself, you have to decenter men. All right. You have to decenter them. If you don't decenter men, you will never fall in love with yourself. Men will always come before you. They will always, you will never truly be in love with yourself until you decenter men. Okay. You will never truly love yourself because you're always going to consider what men think, how they view your beauty, how they feel about, the whole rating system. You shouldn't even care about that. You don't. And how do you not care about that? You don't care if they rate you a 2 or a 3. You are still going to love yourself and view yourself the same. I don't give a, like, a man could rate me a 1. I don't care about that. I'm like, okay, all right. And I'm gonna still show up tomorrow as myself. Like, there be men on YouTube right now that use my fat pictures to talk shit about me. Do you really think I care about that? Like, girl, no, I do not care about that. And I'm just like, honestly, the work that they're doing for me, they are promoting my level up. Do you not understand? I normally, like, if I had to, I looked into it to pay a marketing specialist to do what they're doing, it would cost me like $100 an hour. They're literally taking old photos of myself, creating commentary and all of that stuff. Listen, I don't care about that. I normally would have to pay a marketing executive or a marketing expert to do the work that they're doing. They are promoting my growth. They are promoting my level up. They are promoting the fact that I went from looking like this to this. You and luckily for me, I'm glad that my level up was not just the outer stuff. The outer stuff, like where you just feel like you only confident, you only feel like a baddie when you just dress to the 9. We talked about this earlier. You should feel good about yourself without makeup, bigger, smaller, your weight keep fluctuating up and down. You have to love yourself at every size, okay? At every size, on the days where you look rough and the days you look put together. It don't matter. If a man rates you a 1, a 2, or a 3, you still feel the same about yourself. How men rate you, it should not change how you truly feel about yourself because it doesn't matter. Okay? It does not matter. When you decenter men, nothing they do, nothing they say, their desires, their wants, none of that matters. None of it. None of it matters. None of it. So I'm waiting for women to get to this point. Nothing the men say matters. That's why I don't watch their content. I'm like, I don't got nothing. There's nothing they can tell me that's going to do anything for me because what they say does not matter to me. I matter. That's it. So they can sit over there in a little section and say I'm a 1, I'm a 2, I'm a 3. They can say I'm a baby mama. They can say I'm single. I ain't gonna ever find no man because I got 2, 3 kids. Girl, I do not care because nothing they say actually matters in my life. It does not matter. They are decentered. So when you decide to decenter men and you decide to center yourself, nothing they say, nothing they do matters. Nothing. So when you reach this level in your ascension, girl, you're untouchable. You're untouchable. You're unreachable. They calling you girl and you don't even hear their name because you don't even hear them calling your name because you just like, they don't matter. You'll start to focus more on your ascension. And the further you focus on your ascension, the further you get away from the things that they say. Because you're like, they're decentered. I'm centering myself. I'm leveling up. I'm evolving mentally. And it's a mental shift. When you level up, the best way you can level up, you got to work on your mindset. All right. So that's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to that dress conversation, as soon as you compare, you are competing. As soon as you compare, you are competing. And you shouldn't even feel the need to do that. You should not, because you believe you're a main character. Your friend is a main character. Your other friend is a main character. They have their style. You have your style. Your other homegirl has her style. And everybody is just showing up as their best. And they have their main character in their world. You're your own main character in your world. As soon as you step outside and you compare, you're stepping outside of your world. You're stepping outside of your world. You got to go back to your world, because your world, you stay in your lane. You're your own main character, and that's it. As soon as you step outside of that, all right, as soon as you do, then that's when things get a little more tricky. You may start to feel insecure. And that's another thing. The main reason why you don't want to compare, is to protect yourself. It's to protect your mindset. See, women think it's a judgmental thing. Like, oh, you shouldn't be out here comparing. No, this is a boundary that you have with yourself, sis. You don't compare because you don't want to trigger any insecurities that you may have within yourself. See, women play themselves sometimes because they trigger their own insecurities because they don't have that boundary with themselves to not compare. So then they're not triggered, or they're not triggering their own insecurities. As soon as you compare, you have crossed that boundary within yourself. And now you have triggered an insecurity within yourself. And now guess who does not feel confident? You. You don't feel confident. So no, when I say don't compare, it's not because I'm like, girl, you shouldn't be doing that. Listen, I used to do it. I used to trigger my own insecurities. And then who could I get mad at? I can't get mad at my friend. And see, that's the thing. The birthday girl tried to get mad at the friend. How can you get mad at the friend when the friend is not even thinking like that? You can only be mad at yourself because you just crossed a boundary within yourself, and now you have triggered your insecurities because you compared and you didn't have the discipline not to. And see, it takes discipline not to compare. It takes discipline not to compare yourself to the next person, to just stay in your world and stay in your lane and stay focused on what you need to stay focused on. It actually does. When we talk about boundaries, it's not just, oh, I set a boundary with this person. Sometimes you have to set boundaries and limitations within yourself in order for you to truly ascend. It's not always, oh, I have to go set a boundary with my mama. I got to go set a boundary with a friend. Sis, did you start setting boundaries with yourself? Because I'm telling you, you're not going to get far if you don't set the boundaries with yourself. So the boundary that you have to set within yourself is, okay, I cannot compare myself to the next woman. I have fully accepted myself. I know my shortcomings. I know my flaws, and I am okay with them. If there's something that I truly feel the need to change within myself, I will start to work on that. But I don't feel the need to compare, because if I do, as soon as I compare, I will trigger my insecurities. I'm not going to feel confident, and then it's going to make me feel less than. And I deserve better than that. This journey is about you. It's not about anybody else but you. It's not about anybody else. It's not about your mama. It's not about these men on these podcasts. It's not about you trying to get the male gaze. It's truly about you. And one thing that I notice is when you don't be thirsty for attention, you get more of it. You get more of it. And then you get it effortlessly. You get it so much more effortlessly. You'll start to see the difference. But when you start to compare, you start to compete, and see, it's like, listen, ladies, when you shift your mindset, you still get the same desired outcome that you want. It's just you're not taking the toxic route to get the desired outcome. You're taking a more healthy route. You're setting boundaries with yourself. You're demonstrating discipline. You're also shifting your mindset where now you have the self-awareness where you're not triggering your insecurities to where you feel less than or you feel less confident. So you're still getting the desired outcome that you want. It's just you're going about it in a different way, and you're ascending, you're evolving. And so you're attracting better at the same time. You're not really attracting that low vibrational stuff, not at the same rate. Because I feel like the more you ascend, the more you're going to have this big light, and you tend to just attract all type of stuff. It's kind of like when you put a light outside and you see all the bugs that just want to just go over to that light and just, it's kind of like that. You still gonna get some low vibrational stuff, but like you also attract some high vibrational spirits to you as well that can help you level up further. So opportunities will come to you more effortlessly. People will want to give to you. It's effortless. It's not forced. So sometimes I see women that try to get attention in all the wrong ways. And it's just like, if they just shifted their mindset, if they just shifted their approach, they would still get the outcome that they desire, but it would be in a more healthy way. That's the only difference. I don't know what nail color this is, but I think it's 354. It's color 354 shellac. I think. I don't really know. You know what? I need to go ask. But keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Black women need to listen to real men advice and not these Sims. No, Black women need to listen to women who have actually walked in the shoes that other women are walking in. Women do not need to listen to men at all. I don't even know why men keep talking. I don't know why men keep talking to women. Men do not need to talk. Men don't need to talk to women. Men don't need to address women. Men are not women. Men don't walk in heels. So men need to talk to men. Men need to focus on their own community of men and stop focusing on women so much. Okay? I don't even know why men are still addressing women. You don't wear a bra. You don't wear panties. You don't have to insert a tampon. You don't wear pads. You don't deal with menstrual cycles. I don't understand why men are still talking and addressing women. I don't. All right. That's like me sitting up here trying to address men. Do I have on boxers? Do I wear boxers? Do I piss and stand at the same time? No, I do not. So what do I look like addressing men and trying to tell them how they need to be? That's crazy to me. I don't even know. That's why I'm trying to figure out why do women listen to men at all? They like, men don't deal with menstrual cycles and menstrual cramps and the emotional sides to being a woman or the many different phases of being a woman. Like I just spoke on how beauty, it's a never ending thing. It's like when you're young, you know, you're trying to blossom. And then once you become middle aged, then it's all about ageism. It's like, damn, it never stops. Do we ever get a break? Men don't know nothing about that. That's why I don't know why men are talking. It's annoying. No, they don't carry babies. They don't know what giving birth is like. They have no idea. They don't know what going into labor is like. They don't even know what it means. They don't even know what happens when a woman's water breaks. I just feel like they don't know what hormones are, girl. Okay, they don't even know your breast gets tender around your menstrual cycle or when you are in fact pregnant. I don't know why men are still addressing women. I don't get that. I will never understand it. Okay. They need to talk to they need to address young boys who are 16, 17 years old, still reading at a 3rd or 4th grade reading level. Can we talk about that? That's what y'all need to be talking about. Y'all need to talk about why boys are over there. They 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, still reading at a 3rd and 4th grade reading level. Also, men need to be over there discussing why are Black men unaliving each other every 2 hours. That's crazy. I'm like, where's the self-love? Because I feel like if men loved themselves, they would value each other. But how can they do that if they over there unaliving each other every 2 hours? That's crazy. So listen, y'all got a lot to talk about, but y'all still trying to address women. It's crazy because it's all about control, ladies. That's all it is, about control. That's all it is. I don't get it. So that's what they need to be. They're unaliving the entire community. They're just doing too much. All right. Y'all have a lot to focus on over there. So I don't know why. And that's the thing, ladies, the community is never going to progress. You want to know why? Because the focus is to keep us controlled. The focus is to keep us manipulated. That's it. The more they focus on us to control and to manipulate, they get to stay stuck and stagnant. So the sooner women decenter men and turn inward, the sooner they'll have to they will force themselves to have to actually deal with their own issues and stop projecting on women when it comes to their advice. Like they would actually have to focus on themselves. Like I could give you a list of things that they need to work on. Also talk about how Black men are not emotionally available. Talk about how Black men use their dicks to feel worthy or to have some sense of self-confidence. Like they got a lot to focus on. But I'm telling you now, if they had self-love, if Black men have had some self-love, they wouldn't be out here unaliving themselves every two hours. And listen, ladies, how can you take advice from a group of men that clearly don't love themselves and they don't value each other? How can you take advice from a group of men like that? I don't get it. How? Because if they love themselves, they would value each other and they wouldn't be unaliving each other every 2 hours. How can you take advice from a group of men like that? And that's what I'm saying. Be careful about who you are listening to. Be careful about who you're allowing to influence you. Do they have self-love? Do they value themselves? Have they gone through some type of healing? Have they healed from their trauma and their past experiences in life? If they haven't done any of that, I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't listen to them. They wouldn't have no influence over me. And listen, right now, we are in the year of the 7. It's all about spiritual warfare. So you need to guard your mind with your life. Because if you allow anybody up here, they have control over you, the things that you do, and the choices that you make. You can't allow everybody to have access to this, especially when you're a woman. Especially when you're a woman, you have to guard your mind like it's your girl. Listen, guard your mind. Not every man deserves to have access to this up here. All right. Not everybody. This up here can give a man access to your home. This up here can give a man access to your wallet. This up here can give a man access to your heart. This up here can give a man access to your body. You do not allow any man to have access to this up here. You guard it with your life. All right. You don't allow everybody to have access to this. This can be a moneymaker. This can also protect you as well. Your mind is something that you should not allow anybody to have control over. So you should not be listening to these men at all. All right. You should not. You need to guard that with your life. I am so serious. I am so serious when I say that. So be careful about that. Yeah, I mean, it would be different if it was a community of men that worked on themselves, but they don't love themselves, and it's very evident because they don't even value each other. They, like I said, they unalive each other every 2 hours. That's so sad. That's very sad. And then the same men be mad at Cynthia G because she has that whole like abortion thing, but I'm just like, what are the chances of my son even surviving if I gave birth to him? If you're unaliving them from the ages, I think it's as young as 14, 15 to 35, the chances of that Black boy even surviving in the community is not likely because they're being unalived every 2 hours. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. They get mad at Cynthia, but I'm just like, I mean, abort or unalive, or your son will be unalive in potentially every 2 hours. You could lose a son every 2 hours. And that's the thing. A Black mom can have 5 boys, and every 2 hours, her son is at risk for losing his life. Be so for real. That's why I'm just like, they don't be making no sense to me. That's why I just shut up. I just keep my mouth shut because at the end of the day, I'm taking myself out of the gender war because I'm past that. I'm past that. I see how it's gonna go, and because I see how it's gonna go, I'm moving on. I'm moving on to bigger and better things, and I just don't have time for that. All right, but that's the truth. Like if you give birth to a Black boy, the chances of him making it to 30 is not likely. Like my brothers being alive, that's a blessing because every 2 hours their life is at risk. Every 2 hours their life is at risk. Like what woman would actually want to go through with giving birth to a Black boy, and the chances of them making it to their 18th birthday is not likely because the community, the men, they don't value themselves, they don't have self-love. Then because they don't value themselves and they don't have self-love, they don't value each other. So for me to give birth to a Black boy in the Black community, the chances of that Black boy making it to 18 is not likely because they are unaliving each other every 2 hours. This is how women are thinking now with logic, right? Men are like, oh, women are so emotional. Da, 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 da. Okay, so let's think more logically for a sec. If I give birth to a young Black boy right? His chances of reading at his grade level is unlikely. The chances of him graduating college is unlikely. The chances of him making it to 18 is unlikely because the community is unaliving Black boys every 2 hours. So let's address the things that we need to truly address within our community, and instead of using Black women as the scapegoat for your own internal issues, because that's all it is. And that's why I don't want to participate in this gender war online, because all they're doing is using Black women as the scapegoat. And I'm not the scapegoat. Listen, face your own issues. The sooner Black women just say the hell with this and just say they on their own, then they'll have to face their own issues. They won't even be able to use us as a scapegoat. Right now, we are still the scapegoats of the community, so they will continue to focus on us and focus on us. But as soon as you decenter them, you move on with your life, you do what's best for you, they will have to actually face themselves. They will actually have to face the fact that they do not love themselves. They don't value each other, which is why they keep unaliving each other every 2 hours. So the sooner the better. I'm already, listen, I gotta go. I keep telling y'all that. Women think when it comes to my commentary, because I want to focus more on women, I'm becoming red pill. No, girl, I have decentered men, right? So because I have decentered them, okay, let's talk about some other things. Let's talk about self-accountability. Let's talk about self-esteem, confidence, things like that. But see, women get triggered by focusing on themselves because then they don't have men to blame. Like now it's like, okay, because I've decentered men, I have to focus on me. Ooh, there's some things I need to work on within myself. And women don't want to do that. So now women think I'm a red pill content creator. Are you out of your mind? Girl, if I was a red pill content creator, these men email me, right? You are aware that these men be in my emailing me, trying to get me to come on their platform. Have you seen me on their platform? No. Are you out of your mind? I don't even want to go on a platform to talk about their issues. You're not about to stress and drain my energy like that. Are you out of your mind? Like, listen, that's for the women that care that much. I don't even care that much to go on a platform to talk to them about their own problems. I'm not doing none of that. Okay. I'm not doing none of that. I am focused on women. I'm focused on the betterment of women. And sometimes that's tough love. And women need to suck it up. All right. Like what's her name? Candace Owens said, life is hard. Put on a helmet. If you want to change your life, you have to face your issues. If you don't want to change your life, don't face your issues. Keep living the way you live in, but don't come on here complaining. Okay, don't be coming on here complaining. Don't be on. Listen, and then that's another thing. When you are the main character in your life, it's like the Sims character that you created in the game. You create everything that happens around you. And if you feel like you can't create everything that happens around you, what are some changes that you need to make? Because when you play the Sims game, you get to create how you dress, how you carry yourself, the type of life that you want to live. You are your own Sims character. So once you sit down and you decide how you want to live your life, go and create that Sims character. Go and create that Sims lifestyle. Go and create that Sims home, car, college degree, job, career, whatever it is. You have the ability to do that. I used to think I was shackled to living according to however my life happens. And I was just like, no, I don't have to accept that. I don't have to accept how life happens. I don't have to do that. I don't have to accept that. That's not for me. I have these dreams, I have these desires, and I'm going to create that. That's what I want. So your life is like a Sims game. You get in there, and if you want to get inspired, create your life on Sims. I'm pretty sure a lot of women have already done that anyway. Go on there and create your life, and then start working towards it. How do you work towards it? Your actions have to match your desired outcome. If your actions do not match your desired outcome, you're not going to get the desired outcome. That's the missing key to truly changing your life. And honestly, if there's something that you want, if you truly want it bad enough, you're willing to do whatever it takes to get it. You're willing to do whatever it takes to actually get it. You're not going to make excuses. You're not going to keep coming back to the same to the same time stamp in your life where you're like, I'm still stuck. No, because you move past that. If there's something that you truly want to change, you will change your ways to match your desired outcome. All right. You can, every year you make a vision board, but your actions didn't match. That's the only reason why your vision board didn't come true. You did the manifestation routine. The only reason your manifestations did not come through is because your actions did not match your vision board. All right. That is the missing key. If you would just focus on your actions matching your vision board, your actions matching the things that you're trying to manifest, you will receive those things that you are trying to pray, that you're praying for, that you're asking for, that you're manifesting. You created that vision board. It has the power, it has the ability to come true. But like if you don't align your ways, it's not going to come. It's not. And you have the power within yourself to make that happen. All right. That is the missing key. If you would just zone in on that. And I'm saying, like, I'm telling you, if you was to give it 4 months, 6 months, you would really start to see the change. But you have to stay consistent. And that's the thing with life, it's all about balance. And then the crazy thing about life sometimes, especially when you're trying to break, I don't like to say generational curses anymore. I like to say generational cycles, because a lot of our ways, we pick them up from the cycles and the ways of our family. So they're not curses. Don't even speak that over your life. They're just cycles. How do you get out of a cycle? You have to break the pattern. How do you break the pattern? You got to do something different. You got to think differently. You got to move differently. And then your actions have to be different. You have to have a different routine. You have to have a different thought process. Everything got to be different. If it's not different, you're going to stay stuck in that cycle. But you can free yourself. You can free yourself from the pattern that has been repeated within your family bloodline. But the way that you do it is you got to do something different. But see, the tricky part is your family is going to try to convince you to do it the way that they did it. And then they're going to try to pressure you to do how they did it. But you got to be confident enough to go off and do your own thing and figure it out for yourself. You got to be confident enough. And I'm telling you now, they're going to say a lot in the beginning, but then once they start to see, that's working for her, they'll start to copy you. They're not going to tell you that, but they'll actually start to copy you like, oh, it's working for her, I'm going to do it. And you're doing something totally different. The family ain't never seen nobody do it like that. The family ain't never seen someone in the family go off to college and graduate and not have kids, or no one in the family has got a PhD. Like, you have to do what your family or the cycles in your family has never done. One of the biggest cycles I wanted to break in my family was to not have kids young. Everybody got married young. Everybody had kids young. And I was like, nope. I even seen a mother that was breaking a cycle in her family where she had kids. She was a single mother. And instead of pressuring her kids to do things for her own benefit, she didn't do that. She of course gave them boundaries and structure, but she gave them choices within those boundaries and within those structures. And she was never given that. It's like little stuff like that. You have the ability to break that cycle. It's just, you have to do things differently. It's not a curse. It's just a cycle. It's not a curse. It's just a pattern. How do you break free? You got to change it up. You got to do something new. You got to do something new. Okay. You got to do something new. That's it. You got to date different. You got to date different. You got to date outside of what you used to doing. All right. And then this is another thing, because I was just talking about this yesterday on my Instagram. I said, sometimes you don't know what you need in a relationship and you keep dating your usual, because you date based off of your neglect. So your neglect, it could be emotional unavailability. So you keep attracting men that are emotionally unavailable. All right. But you're dating based off of your neglect. This is why I encourage women to go to therapy, because you will continue to date based off of your neglect. And you won't know that you're doing it because it's normal. It's familiar. You don't know any different. You don't even know that you're doing it. Honestly, you won't know until you go to therapy and you realize you go to a PTSD trauma therapist and they start to give you a list of things like, damn, I didn't even know I had all these issues. And you were dating from that place. So I recommend women go to therapy for that very reason, because you're gonna keep dating off of your neglect. You're gonna date from a place of neglect. You're never gonna date from a place where you have the self-awareness now, like, okay, when I date now, I need to look for emotional availability. I need to look for a person that affirms me verbally. I need to look for a person that affirms me not only verbally but also with their actions. I also need that reassurance from my partner. You're still dating from your neglect. So you have to change your course. You have to break that cycle, go to therapy and figure out, well, what is my neglect? How was I neglected? Then once you come to that level of self-awareness, you'll date better. You'll date from a place where, okay, I don't need to go after guys like that because that's an older version of myself, and that's a place where I was neglected. So I don't need to go after guys like that. I need to go after guys that are emotionally available. So when you go to therapy, it's self accountability, it's boundaries that you create within yourself, but it's also like a level of self awareness that you just did not have. So when you go back on the dating scene, you're gonna date differently automatically, because now you realize, okay, I was neglected here, here, and here, and so even though that may feel familiar to me, that's not what I actually need, because I was neglected. So just make sure when you pick a good therapist, I wouldn't either. When I was going through my healing phase, I didn't date, I didn't have sex. When I was really doing the healing, I got real serious about it. I didn't date, I didn't have sex. When you're trying to change your life, when you're trying to break cycles, it involves you sitting by yourself. And I'm telling you now, not everybody can do it. You got to sit by yourself. You got to sit alone. You got to go out to dinner alone. You got to wine and dine alone. You got to do things in solitude. It ain't for the weak. I will say, it's not for the weak. The silence, at first it's scary. Then once the silence takes over, it gets lonely. Then once the silence takes over and the loneliness takes over, then the self-doubt comes in, like, will my life always be like this? You got to move past all of that. And then you'll finally get to that place of contentment. Then you'll start to see, oh, I feel peace. I like how this feels. I don't have to run anymore. I can actually sit with myself and not feel like I may be alone, but I don't feel the loneliness, because now I see value in myself, and I also see value in my energy. It's a process, you guys, but it's worth it. Once you reach that level of peace, like I said, you become untouchable. All right. It's a benefit to be untouchable. You don't care what your mama got to say. You don't care none of them. You don't care what nobody got to say. You happy, you at peace. You don't care what nobody, you don't care what people think. You don't care what people say. You don't feel the need to address everybody. You don't feel the need to weigh in on other people's opinions about you. You don't care. You are unreachable. You're untouchable. Some will say you're unbothered, but I'm going to be real with you. When I was unbothered, I was very bothered. Me being unreachable and untouchable is just me simply protecting my energy. I have found peace, so I don't feel the need to address everything. I don't feel the need to react to everything. If somebody has an opinion about me, you right, you got it. You got it. I don't care. So once you reach this level, you become untouchable. You do not care. You do not give a rat's ass. All right. You like, you do not care. And I feel like the best part about being at peace with yourself is, I don't know, you're not in that rat race. You're not trying to chase the perfect body. You're not trying to chase the perfect look. You're not trying to chase the perfect closet. You're not trying to chase the perfect banking account, the perfect house. Like, of course, you have desires, you have wants, right? But you also have like a level of contentment within yourself where you're more at flow, you're more at ease. Like, this is truly a soft girl life where these things will come when they come. You can still actively work towards those things, but like, they'll come when they come. You don't feel the need to chase. It's like, now, because you found peace within yourself, these things come to you. You don't chase these things. They come to you. And it's almost like you do the inner work on yourself, it's going to come. You don't feel the need to chase. When you start to truly focus on leveling up within yourself, these things come. You don't feel the need to go after and bring it into you. And the highest level that you attract these things is gratitude. Gratitude. These things will come to you. The more you give thanks and the more you show appreciation and gratitude for the simplest things. Like, I'm so grateful for my peace. That don't cost nothing, but it's worth so much. And then also self-love. Those, the two highest forms that you can manifest, pray, attract, is through gratitude and self-love. Once you start to manifest with those two things, you'll start to see your life change pretty fast. But if you do it out of lack, you do it out of scarcity, you do it out of insecurities, you do it out of the thought process like, oh, if I just had this, my life would be just perfect. It's going to come slow, or if it does come fast, you're not going to be able to enjoy it because you don't have the inner peace and you don't have the contentment within yourself. That's why you see women that have the career, they have the car, they may even be married. For some reason, they don't feel happy or fulfilled. So work, like, it does. Once you have this inner peace, you can level up, right? And your life may materialistically change, but at every level and point in your life, you still have that inner peace. And now you're able to enjoy it. Whereas before, if you never had the inner peace, you wouldn't be able to enjoy it. That's why I just be like, ooh, if only they knew. There's this trend where it's like, oh, I don't understand why these celebrities, they be doing this, and this. They should be happy. They're rich. They don't have inner peace. So yeah, they can have all the money in the world. They can even have all the fame. But because they don't have the inner peace, they can't enjoy it. So that's why you'll see people, you'll see celebrities or like people with money, and you be like, I don't know why they out here doing this. I don't know why they out here acting like this. If I had all that money, if I had all that fame, if I had that car, they don't have inner peace. So even with them having everything at the tips of their finger, they still don't have inner peace. So they still live in lack. And it starts with the mind. So you'll see people, they have the world at their feet and they sabotage it because they don't have inner peace. So it's best that if you broke, that you start working on that inner peace. If you don't have a lot of materialistic stuff, it's best that you start working on that inner peace, because when your outer starts to materialistically change, you'll be able to enjoy it. But if you don't have inner peace, girl, you can have $1 billion in your bank account, and if you don't have inner peace, you're not gonna be able to enjoy it. You're probably gonna be out here still chasing, trying to get more money. You're just it's never gonna be enough for you. It's never gonna be enough. So it's best that you start working on that inner peace now. So then as you start to level up the materialistic side of your life, when you start to receive these things, you can actually enjoy it. Okay. But I'm gonna log out. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evening, because I've been on here for a long time and it's like 10:30. But I just wanted to have this chat with you guys. When I move, I will be on after I get like moved and settled in, which will probably be like after November the 15th, to be honest. I'm gonna be more on the Feminine Yoni's channel and doing more lifestyle content, more conversations that are centered around these type of conversations. I want to get more in depth about truly leveling up your life, spiritual growth, spirituality journey. I just want to get into some other stuff. Like, I'm kind of burnt out with celebrity gossip. I'm kind of burnt out with the drama. I just need something new. Okay, I need something new. I need something refreshing. I want to get back to some of my older content, because it's a different vibe. It's a different vibe. I like helping people through these, celebrity stories, these skits, the drama and everything. But after a while, it's just, I don't know how people live. I don't know how people stay connected to this. I don't know. I think it was easier for me when I was in survival mode, and I don't know, it was just easier for me. But now that I'm not in survival mode, I'm like, this shit is draining as hell. So I really want to get into that type of content. 2 series that I'm going to be focusing on is Decentering Men. That's huge. That I love it so much. And then the other series that I wanted to get into was being a late bloomer. I want to start a series about being a late bloomer and talking about being a late bloomer. Part of me being a late bloomer is everything. Everything for me just happened later in life. People judge me because of my age, but it's like everything happened later in life. When I was younger, I was just going through a lot of stuff. Like I didn't have time to be a normal kid. I didn't have time to be a normal 20-something-year-old. Like, life was lifing heavy for me. And so I just didn't have time to be 20-something. If I'm being honest, I didn't have time to be 18, 19 years old. Like, life was really lifing. And so because of that, I just ended up being a late bloomer. So that's another series that I want to get into. So Decentering Men and being a late bloomer is a series that I'm going to start on my other channel, because I just feel like I'm supposed to talk about that. Some girls feel insecure about being a late bloomer. And I feel bad, because I know what that's like. I used to feel that way as well. I'm like, I'm not where I need to be. I'm behind. And honestly, it was because I was comparing myself to society. I was comparing myself to where my parents thought I should be, where my friends thought I should be, where the opposite sex thought I should be. I was just constantly being compared to timelines that were not meant for me. And at one point in my life, I was feeding into it and feeding into it and feeding into it. And it was making me feel insecure within myself. So I want to start the late bloomer series, because I really do. I feel like it could be helpful for women that are late bloomers, you're supposed to blossom later in life. You're just late. It doesn't mean that you're never going to blossom. It's just, you're late. I saw a woman that was on my TikTok. She got pregnant when she's pregnant with her first child at 43. She got married late too. Her and her husband, neither of them have kids from a previous relationship or marriage, but she got married at 40, and she was about to start IVF, and she didn't need to. Like, after she got married and everything, she got pregnant damn near almost on her wedding night, like probably around the honeymoon phase. And people assumed that she was pregnant her wedding day, but she wasn't. She got pregnant right after they got married, and she had bought all the materials to start the IVF journey, and she didn't even need it. So I saw that, and I was just like, sometimes your time is truly your time, and you can't compare your life to what society expects or what your family expects and things like that. You just got to live your life the way that you want to. Okay. So I'm logging out. Y'all enjoy the rest of your night. Your girl is moving, so I'm just going to be uploading stuff that I may want to talk about. I may do some like videos here and there, but it's not going to be your normal content quality, okay? Because there's a lot of stuff going on. But hopefully you'll still rock with me. Shout out to my day ones, the fireballs that are out here in the chat. And I appreciate all of you. I'm very grateful for all of you. And thank you for being here. And thank you for pushing me too, because when you have an audience watching you, it's like, oh my God, I gotta follow through. I gotta follow through. And so that is motivating for me as well. So I appreciate that as well. I appreciate all of you. So thank you. All of you ladies have a great night, and I hope to catch you in my next one.